So the Disney Expo, D23, was back this year, seemingly as a nice little warm-up to Comic-Con this week. So I wanted to talk about all the announcements and posters and whatnot that came out this year. Some of this is pretty amazing, some of this is pretty... well, we'll get to it. So let's talk about all of it. I've divided this into Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and Disney. Let's start off with the Star Wars section, since that was kind of the lightest of all these. There were some more details in the new Star Wars land, and some new concept art, which by all means looks fantastic, and like a Star Wars fan's dream come true. Then there were these very red The Last Jedi posters, for Finn, Poe, Leia, Luke, Kylo Ren, and of course Rey. And then there was this behind the scenes reel, which was nice, but didn't show much new. There were a few things though, like we saw some new locations and sets, some new creatures, like this Star Wars snow dog thing, new stormtrooper types and weapons, more Luke, a Star Wars casino, which is cool, since that means we don't have to go back to another cantina and or weird 1950s diner. And we got a look at 3 of the new characters. Laura Dern, in seemingly her Hunger Games cosplay, Benicio del Toro, whose character is so far only known as DJ, and Kelly Marie Tran, as whoever she's playing. I think a friend of Finn's? I don't know for sure. So yeah, looks pretty neat, and I like the fact that this movie's coming out in December, and I've still seen very little footage and basically know none of the plot. If we can keep it that way, that'd be great. Next, let's talk Pixar. They had a pretty crowded slate of announcements. First of all, it was announced that Josh Cooley will be directing Toy Story 4, not John Lasseter, who has basically been the leader of this franchise. Cooley has worked on other Pixar stuff like Up and Inside Out, so I think that's not a bad choice. I'm not overly excited for Toy Story 4, one, because I kind of missed Toy Story as a kid. I was more into the Monsters Inc. and Incredibles type stuff. And 2, I thought Toy Story 3 had a pretty definitive ending, but who knows, hopefully this will surprise me. Also, it was confirmed that Kingdom Hearts 3 will have a Toy Story level. Then there were some new images from Coco, and some footage was shown. This film is actually pretty close to release, but I haven't heard anyone really talking about it. It is one of the few original movies Pixar has in the works, so I do want to support it. Like I've said though, I have a feeling this might go the route of The Good Dinosaur and just be kind of average and go overlooked, but hopefully this will be more of an Inside Out situation. And speaking of original Pixar films, they announced that they're making an untitled suburban fantasy film, which sounds interesting. The story of this movie goes, 2 teenage elves go on an epic quest to spend one last day with their lost father. Alright. Apparently the concept art for this looked surprisingly dark, and some of it showed unicorns going through trash like scavengers or something like that. We don't know a lot about this. This will be directed by the director of Monsters University, but again, original movies from Pixar I'll always be kind of optimistic about. And finally for Pixar, there was a big focus on The Incredibles 2, maybe because that's the movie that almost everyone is insanely excited for, including, as you probably know, myself. Firstly, there was this awesome artwork, which showed, among other things, something that was later confirmed, which is that this movie will take place directly after the first film. And when I say directly, I mean really directly, like it will open with them fighting the Underminer. I've talked before about if this should be set right after, or several years after, and I would have been fine with either. So seeing a very direct follow-up, totally fine by me. I'm just wondering how the kid actors are going to sound the same 15 years later, but we'll see. Also, as far as fighting the Underminer, I'm hoping, and assuming, that that's just a little unrelated opening to the film, and he's not like the main villain. Because that cliffhanger ending all seemed to me like it was just showing, you know, another day in the life of the Incredibles now, fighting bad guys, and not some insane new threat. I am excited to see how that fight plays out though, since I've seen that cliffhanger ending dozens and dozens of times. So to see a resolution to that is gonna be pretty cool. There was a weird featurette about Edna Mode and how she's a great fashion designer, but in the real world, and a bunch of celebrities were in it, like Kylie Jenner or Kendall Jenner. Look, I'll be honest, this was a little weird, but the people who were actually in attendance at D23 got to see footage from the actual film, in which Jack, I guess, is beating up a raccoon with his powers, or something like that. It sounds fun. Plus, we also got the revelation that the sequel will be more focused on Elastigirl than before, and Bob, for some of it, will be at home taking care of Jack, which does sound funny, and while I do want to see more Elastigirl, I hope Mr. Incredible doesn't really get sidelined, since he's one of my favorite characters from any Pixar film. Also, fingers crossed for more Frozone. Alright, let's look at some of the actual Disney announcements from this Disney Expo. Taraji P. Henson was cast in Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, as the character Yes, who apparently is an enthusiastic associate of Buzzaholic, a not-so-subtle play on BuzzFeed. I like Henson, and as someone who really liked the first Wreck-It Ralph but didn't love it, this one looks like something I can definitely get behind. A clip was shown from Olaf's Frozen Adventure, that short film coming soon, and the cast of that talked a little bit about Frozen 2, coming November 2019. We didn't really get any new info though, although they did perform a new original song. Then there was this little short film they showed of jet planes flying, and then one goes into space, and now there's a movie coming out April 2019 that I guess will be a Planes Cars sequel, but space-based. which I'm not insanely interested in, but hey, anything can be good. Also, all the voice actors of the Disney princesses, the voice actors of Belle, Pocahontas, Rapunzel, Moana, Vanellope, Anna, Merida, Tiana, Jasmine, and Ariel, to be specific, all got on stage together, and Josh Gad got a selfie with all of them. Oprah Winfrey, Stan Lee, Whoopi Goldberg, and Mark Hamill also officially became Disney legends, which basically means they've really helped contribute to the company's overall legacy, so that was nice. There was also a new clip from the DuckTales show, and David Tennant gave a little speech via video, which at first I thought was a little strange, because I did not know he was involved in this. But I guess he's going to be voicing Scrooge McDuck, so that's actually a pretty great choice. Then there was a trailer for A Wrinkle in Time, based on a book that I have no knowledge of. Like, I've heard of it in pop culture, but I've never read it, and I have no idea what it's about. As far as this movie, it looks interesting, to say the least. It's got a pretty stacked cast, with a post-Wonder Woman Chris Pine, the previously mentioned Disney legend Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, Zach Galifianakis, even Michael Pena, which is always a plus. The main thing that has me excited about this, though, is the director, Ava DuVernay, who made Selma, which is a fantastic film. So whatever she made next, I'd be interested in, and this looks interestingly chaotic, I'll say that. A lot of stuff seems to be going on here, which hopefully is coherent in the actual film. I do want to say though, I thought we were past that whole dark cover of a popular song phase in movie trailers, but I guess not. The movie based on the Jungle Cruise ride with The Rock was confirmed. Okay. Hopefully it'll be more Pirates of the Caribbean and less Tomorrowland, at least in terms of box office. Not much else is known about this, but The Rock apparently wants Patty Jenkins to direct. There was also this little moving poster, I guess, for Mary Poppins Returns. Shows us nothing, not really much to say. Emily Blunt looks pretty good as Mary Poppins, but we haven't seen her act as the character yet. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms movie was confirmed for November next year, and it pushed the live-action Mulan into 2019. We also got a cast, including Mackenzie Foy, Keira Knightley, Helen Mirren, and Morgan Freeman. A trailer was shown. It apparently looks somewhat like Beauty and the Beast. Pretty cool, I guess. And it'll be directed by Lasse Hallström, who's done some of those Nicholas Sparks movies and Chocolat, so I don't think that bodes super well. The Lion King live-action movie had some footage shown. Apparently it looks amazing and beautiful. I like The Jungle Book a lot, so I'm excited for this. And this was kind of a weird story, but at first it was reported that Hugh Jackman was cast as Scar, which would have been pretty awesome, but then it was debunked, and now he's not. So in the end, I don't think he is. The rest of the cast, though, from Donald Glover to John Oliver, is fantastic. And then to wrap it up, we got casting news from 2 live-action remakes coming soon. The Aladdin movie was cast. First, Mina Massoud, or maybe it's Massoud, was cast as Aladdin. He's an Egyptian actor who hasn't had a major role in anything really, so he's kind of an unknown. And Naomi Scott is going to be Jasmine. She's from The Martian, and she was in the latest Power Rangers film. So that's fine, good, I guess. And then Will Smith was officially confirmed as the genie. Which, look, following up Robin Williams is going to be a huge task regardless, and I don't know if Will Smith is the right choice. I'm sure he'll be fine, I just don't know if he has that insane energy, charisma, and improv skill that made Robin Williams perfect as the character. And then Tim Burton's live-action Dumbo movie got cast, which includes Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Eva Green, and Danny DeVito, which is a pretty good cast. I just don't know if I'm really excited for the movie overall. Dumbo will hit cinemas in March 2019. And finally, let's talk about Marvel's time at D23 this year. First, I don't know if this was from D23 or was just coincidentally unrelated, but new posters for the Punisher Netflix show and the Defenders came out. They look amazing. There were some Black Panther movie costumes on display, and there was a big statue of Thanos and Thanos' children, aka, I guess, the sub-villains for Infinity War. I'll be honest, I don't know anything about the children of Thanos. They're gonna be super powerful, all CGI beings for the Avengers to fight. That I can get behind. I'll save actually learning stuff about them for when I see the film. There was also this new Infinity War poster, and then, probably the biggest news out of D23, there was the Infinity War trailer, which was shown to the audience and has not leaked online yet because Disney is really good with their security. So we just have to go off descriptions for now. According to people who saw it, the trailer contains a bunch of crazy stuff, including Thor smashing onto the hood of the Guardian ship and teaming up with them, Scarlet Witch using her powers, Loki handing over the Tesseract to some mysterious figure. I called that, by the way, just want to get some credit for that. Tony Stark saying, "We have one advantage, he's coming for us." Gamora looking terrified, while Thanos says something about fun doesn't belong in the universe, but this puts a smile on his face. And then there's a big montage of action, with Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, and Vision doing a bunch of fighting, the Hulkbuster armor back in use, Bucky and Black Panther standing ready with a Wakandan army, Thor getting his head squeezed by Thanos, the moon being pulled down and used as a weapon by a fully powered Infinity Gauntlet, and Peter Parker crying and saying, "I'm sorry, Tony." Captain America also has a beard now, and Black Widow is blonde for some reason. So that all sounds absolutely insane and absolutely incredible. Like, that is a lot to process. I can't wait till we actually get to see this footage. One of the directors said we'll see it very soon. I don't know if that means at Comic-Con, but I sure as hell hope so. As for now, we'll have to settle for that crazy description. So those were the biggest things to come out of D23 2017. What did you think of all this? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram and Twitter at BHL_Hudson, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.